Alright guys, my cantaloupe is getting big enough to where it's starting to try to vine. So before that happens, I'm gonna have it come this way. So I need to get my little roll of garden tie, and I'm not gonna tie it tight. I'm just gonna gently loop it around in here. I don't know if you can see that because of that leaf. So I'm just gonna gently tie it like that. And then this is gonna come up to the support, which is the frame of the greenhouse. If you watched my previous video, this bed is right inside the greenhouse, the frame of the greenhouse. So I'm growing my beans and my cantaloupe and my cucumbers on the frame of the greenhouse. So I've got all my beans here. They're all coming this way. They're all coming to the frame of the greenhouse. They're climbing nicely. So happy about that. So I'll show you another angle. Whoops. Alright guys, so this is the area where I have cucumbers and pole beans and scarlet runner beans and cantaloupe. The cantaloupe and runner beans, they're all starting to climb. If you can see, they're climbing the frame nicely, just like I planned. And then I've got this green plant tie tape here to train up the cantaloupe. There's one. It's the biggest one so far. And I've also got the beans climbing up. This side over here is the scarlet runner beans, and then this side over here is Kentucky Wonder pole beans. And then I've got cantaloupe there on the green tie, training it to go that way and up to the support. There's one more cantaloupe over here, and I'm gonna have that climb this stake, and then I'm gonna tie the green tape from the stake to the support, so then it'll come up and over. And the same thing with these cucumbers, come up and then over, probably to that section right there. So I'll have both of these cucumbers coming up and over this way, and then this cucumber will come up and over that way. And that'll be the climbing plants in this bed, all coming up. I might actually just have this stake come straight up to this point, and then it'll climb over this way, so that there's adequate airflow for all of the plants. That sounds like a much better idea. So from the stakes, both of these stakes, I'll just come straight up to this point like that. And then all these tomatoes here will get supported. These are all cherry tomatoes. That's a calendula. Looks like it's about to bloom. 1,000 head kale. That'll shade out the basil that I have in there nicely. I could probably throw some more basil in there. I have dill and parsley and basil here. The dill doesn't look like it wanted to come up, so I might replant some of that. Dill will inhibit growth with your tomatoes, so you don't want to have dill in there to its maturity. And I don't plan on taking it out, so I'm not going to put it in. But basil I will. I have an opal basil that I probably will mix in here as well. But they're starting to get blossoms on them, the tomatoes. I'm going to start to support these and definitely start to prune them from the bottoms. They all need to be pruned. Alright, so I hope you guys can see good. I'm just going to demonstrate how I'm going to support these cherry tomatoes. So I'm going to, I'll show a pruning video later. Right now this is about support, but I am going to prune these, know that much. But I'm going to do what is called a Florida weave, and that just eliminates the need for a bunch of stakes and supports things. So this one's a little, there we go. Alright, so basically the Florida weave is just what it sounds. You weave in and out of your tomato plants, and they are essentially supported by the whatever device you use to weave. So I'm going to use this plant tape, and I'm going to come around this one here on the end. I'm just going to prune a little bit with my fingers, take some of these suckers off, and I'm just going to drop the leaves right into that there. Now the whole idea of pruning is to keep disease off your plants and also to help with airflow. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because I'll do a separate pruning video. Alright, so I've got this one secured onto this stake. So this one doesn't have a stake, the one in the middle here. I'm going to come around this one, and I'm going to come up and in between the leaves here. I'm going to go around once, and then I'm going to come back around on this side with this one here. I'm going to come around this one about where I believe I will be pruning up to. Okay, I'm just going to wrap around it. And then I'm going to come up over here, wrap around there. Alright. And then I'm going to come back in to this one, and I'll probably prune up to about here with this one. So I'll come right here, and I'll wrap around, make sure that it's not super tight, but not too loose either. There's a stake here, so I'll come around the stake, and then back around this way, this one, all the way around, and then I'm going to come back out all the way to this corner pole here, and then I'm going to come around like that, and then I'm going to break it off and tie it, and then every time I need to come in, when they get taller, I will do the same thing, except it'll just be higher up. So at every level that your plants grow, you can weave them and support them, and they'll all be connected and essentially supported by this frame. And that is your demonstration of the Florida weave. And I will do that every time the plants get to a height where I think they need more support. Now I'll come back in here later and I will prune all these bottom leaves. Everything under the green tape will get pruned off. Now I'm going to come over here to these cucumbers. And like I said, push down just a little more. There's 2 cucumber plants here. So I do want them to have adequate airflow. I want to say these 2 were straight 8s. This is a Viet Alpha, and that's a lemon. I think these are straight 8s. Anyhow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie onto here. This one's pretty tight because I don't want this slipping off. Alright, and then I'm just going to come straight up and over this support. I'm going to tie it off, and that way the cucumber will climb up to the frame of the greenhouse. Now this one, because I didn't put an extra support in there, I will just tie onto the cucumber itself. Probably over here. Alright, so I'm trying to find the stem where it's going to start to vine from. It looks like it'll start here first on this side. So I'm going to just gently tie around the plant, not hard, not tight, just loosely. And I'm going to come up, ooh, I just barely had enough, and around this space right here, and tie off right there. And that way that cucumber will climb this way up this support there. And then I'll do the rest of them the same way. And that's what I got for you guys as far as support is concerned. At least what I'm doing. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but I'm just showing you guys and sharing with you guys the methods that I use. When you're gardening, you have to adapt to the area, to the needs of your plants, and that kind of thing. See, I didn't have these 2 beds here last year, so I didn't do this method last year. But now that I have these 2 beds here where this greenhouse is at, I have adapted, and I'm using the frame, and I will support them accordingly. So this is my method for supporting my tomatoes over here and my vining crops over here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will be doing some more pruning videos, so stay tuned for that. And till next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Bye guys.